Okay. So now the next hop, when you see the topology on the top here, the next hub is pointing to the router one, this interface, right? Because that is the next hub for R2. So now your next hub in here, say 192, 168.12.1. Agree? So that is the next hub IP. So you hit enter. Okay. So now you exit out in here. Now you show IP route again. So now what happened in here? See, now you have an extra S, it means static route. You see? Okay. So now the R2 suppose know how to get back to PC1 for the 10 network, right? So now go back to PC1 in here. So this time, can we ping the R2 interface for this IP, right? So now we try to ping. Now, let me see. Okay, you see what happened? It sounds like still not happy, right? And then remember, maybe we don't have a save in the past. Maybe we didn't write the configuration, right? So make sure again this PC1 we treat as like a PC, right? But this is we using the router. So first we want to turn on the no IP routing. So we want to force it no IP routing, and then we want to make sure we have a gateway, right? We treat like a computer. So this PC1 is treated like a computer. So the IP default gateway, we're going to point it. The gateway should be 10.10.10.1. So that is mean if I want to ping outside the scope of the 10.10 network, right? Because 192 not in the same subnet, is outside the scope, right? So that's mean I need to for the layer three for the gateway to help me, right? Hey, gateway, do you know about this 192 network? Okay, so that is the idea. We want to configure the IPD for the gateway. So now you exit out in here. Okay, so now, so when you show IP route again in here, you should see we have a gateway. You see the gateway we pointed to here, right? So now we try it again to ping. Okay, we bring the command line to ping 192.168.12 dot 2. Now we hit enter again. See, now it's beautiful. You see, so before it's not able to ping just because we have to restart over again because this PC we treat as a PC, right? We need because doesn't know the gateway, right? So that's why right now we manually we enter. We configure IPD for gateway, right? So that is mean I'm asking the router one to help me. Do you know 192.168 dot network? And then the router one, of course, the router one should be no because he have a direct connect between R1 and R2. Agree? Now, same thing in here. So if you go back to the router two, so the router two should be able again. The router two should be able to ping the PC one. So that is for reply traffic, right? But see, so for example, ping 10.10.10.100. Beautiful. You see? Agree? Okay. So now we could move on in here now. So now PC1 already know how to ping here. Then how about this side, this IP here, right? So the router 2, we have another interface in here, F01 IP address, right? So go back to the PC1 in here again. So if you ping 92 168.23.1. So no, I'm sorry, that is dot 2. So that's the dot 2 here, right? So now when you ping again, you see, it give you U. That is mean it's like a not reachable. That is mean like something that same thing like no return traffic. Okay, so right, so now we go instead we jump into the router one. So in here we can just go to trace route. Just do trace route click in here, right? So trace route. Let me just put the trace here. On. Okay, so trace route 192, 168, the destination that we will go to 23.2. So this is the IP here. You see, when we trace route, see, it's going to the next hop is a 10.1, so the router one. But then the router one is give you So that is what it means. So it sound like the router one. So our layer three device doesn't know how to get here. Okay, because the router one, and then same thing again. The router one is only know the direct connect network between router one and router two, but I don't know about behind the router 2 on the right hand side network here, right? So same thing in here. So same thing, we are in the router 1. So that is a basic command, show IP route again. You see this, right? So there's, yeah, it's just direct connect. So same thing in here now. So we need to allocate this router 1, how to get this router 2, this network here, right? So what is the command again in here? So IP route. Okay, that's why we want to try to inject a static route. So IP route in here, so we want to put 192, 168.23.0. Okay, so we just the default. We're using 0, right? So the host 24 network, right? You see, and then we're going to put the next hub. So the router one, so next hub should be this one here. This is the next hub IP, the router two. So we're going to say 192.168.12.2, right? So now when you hit enter, you see. So now exit out again. When you show IP route in here, so now you can see you have a static IP address in here. Okay, that not static IP. That's a static route. So now router one it should be able to ping this interface, right? So now we try it again from router one. Say hey 192, 168.12, no not dot 12, 23.2. You see, right? So we now ping beautiful, right? So this means now since we have inject a static route, we tell the router one how you go to this network. So you have to ask for router 2 to help you. Okay, so now if you go back again to router 1 in here, so now how about I trace route again? So where is this? Oh, it's getting better now. You see, because this one here is only stopped in this one interface. You see now when you trace route again, so the PC the router 1 is go more further. Now now it's come to here, but then okay, it's come to here. But now can I ping? Okay, just can I ping 192, 168.23.1? Uh, do you want to? Oh, do we want to ping this one, right? So let me see, doctor. Or no, we want to ping the 23. Now we should be able to ping 23.1 too here, right? So one. Uh, uh, okay. You see? So now this one, we can ping this one, we can ping this one, we can ping this one, but not this one. Correct. So now we have to jump to the R3, right? So same thing, the R3 in here, the concept is here. The R3, when you show IP route here, right? When you show IP route on the, it's nothing, right? It doesn't exactly give you the issue, right? Because the R3 doesn't know how to return the traffic, get back to PC1. Agree? Okay, so now same thing in again, and then we just quick in here. What is the command again? Now you still memorize. So it's IP route, right? And then what is the network for PC1? So you have to put 10.10.10.0, right? That is the network 255.255.255.0. And then what is the next hub for router T? Go to the 10 network. Hello, which one? See, 323 dark. Where's dark one? Here's the dark one. I say next hub, right? Next hub, the neighbor. No, because we are not router three. What is the next hub router three? Go to this center. Perfect. Okay. So yep. So now show IP route again in here. You show IP route, right? So now you have the static. You see, go back here. Now the PC1, you should be able to ping that 20. See, beautiful. Okay. So keep going now, right? So now then the PC1 say, how about this 32.1? Can I ping 32.1? Right? So we ping 32.1. Uh-uh. Same thing again. Fail. Right? And then we're going to be asked the router one. So what is the command again? So trace route, right? Trace route. We want to ask, go to like 192.168.32.1. Say, hey, router one. Uh-oh. See, the router one say sorry, right? I don't have for your request. Know to how to get the here behind here, right? So we go back to the router one again. So this is the router one again. So now you show IP route again on the router one. You see? Now this is the router one routing, right? This is the routing table on the router one. So the router one, the tabling, no, the routing table just only know the direct connect network, and also the static IP is go to just this network, right? But then the router one doesn't know the 32 network here, right? So now, okay, so now keep going now. Same thing now. Go to the router one IP route. So I want to go to 168 32.0 network. Okay, 255.0, and then the next hop pointed to our router 2, 192.168.12.2. Okay, so now you hit enter, right? So now you go back again. All right, so now you tell PC1, I believe you should be okay. Try it again. So PC1 say, okay, let me try it again. So trace route again. Oh, getting beautiful. It's getting further now, right? Just go to router 2, and then it sounds like the router 2. Now it's stopped in the router 2. All right. So now if I go back to the router 2, okay, so now what I need to know in router 2 in here, you tell me. hmm So so here, this is the router 2, right? So you can look at the topology, the diagram here, right? The router 2, right? Do I know the you have to you should have to treat yourself, right? Or you treat like airport, right? For example, if this is in the Philly, if this is in the Chicago, right? How from Philly go to Chicago, right? But do I because you have to look at on like the information panel, right? When you go into the airport, you look at the information board, right? You want to know the flight number, the gate number, right? But what is the related to the router two? If you're speaking with the airport concept, right? So same thing in here. So you want to know the routing table. The same thing again, show IP route, right? Now, this is the information on this routing. Do you see the routing about this network? Wh- Where 2 3 is only here, you see? But router two, he want to know here, the 32. I don't see the 32, right? You see it? Right. So that is mean the router two I don't. That's why I don't know how to get. this network, right? And also that's why you can show run. See, that's what I'm saying. You can show run say IP route. So what is the run in the running config? You see, we just have one line in the configuration, just only IP route to 10 network here. You see. Okay, so now same thing in here, the R2 in here, you see the router 2 here, you're going to be IP route, right? So you want to go to 192.168.32, right? And then here, dot 0, then go to 255.255.255 dot 0, and then the next hop is to be asking for R3, right? So 192.168.23.1. Hit enter. Now you exit out again. Now you show IP route again. Now you should be have on the table. See, this is the routing table. Agree? Okay, so now if you go back to the PC1 again, see right before when you trace route, you stop in the router 2 because router 2 doesn't have the information how to get to 168.32. But then we just finish, we just add another static route. We tell the router 2 say, hey, if you want to go to that network, just 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 using the static route here and point it to route 3, right? So now if you go back to the router 1, no, not router one, the PC one. So now you trace route again. You see, you go perfect. You go more further, complete. You arrive. That is mean your traffic is arrived to router three. So now the PC one, I should be able to ping, right? So 192.168.32.1. Beautiful. You see? Okay. So how about this one now, right? How about this one? So now if I go more further again, so now I want to ping the PC2. Now this is the final destination now. So you're going to fly from here all the way to PC2, right? So now say okay, this is the final destination now. Are we able to ping from here? So ping 132.2. Uh uh See? Okay, so that is the problem now. So now this time, so we need to go back to the PC2, right? So this is the PC2 because we treat this PC2 router as a PC, right? The first thing is we want to make sure do we have IP address assigned. So show IP interface brief. Yes, we have one interface is up. Is a correct label, not label, label. Okay, so it's correct label. So this is the IP address of this interface, right? So now here and then you say show IP. No, not show IP because we treat as a PC, right? So now the first thing what you want to do, you want to go to config T, you want to go to like disable the routing, right? So no IP routing, all right? So we disable it. So now we're going to manually default gateway in here. So the gateway should be pointed to router 3 168.32. 32.1. Once again, what does that mean? The IP default gateway in here. That is mean if everything is out of the scope of this network, I'm going to ask the router 3 to help me, the layer 3. Okay, so now we hit enter. So now in here, so now in here, let's say PC2, you want to go, you want ping this 10 network now, 10 PC1, so 100, right? Uh-oh. Oh, beautiful. You see, because we have all the route, everything in here. So now it's beautiful. See, now PC2 all the way can ping, and then if you go back to the PC1 in here, right? So the PC1 in here, can you ping? Beautiful. Okay. So now in here, what you learn is basic configure all the interface IP with the IP address, and then follow the network topology in here, and then you hop in each hop just to configure with a static route. Static route it have to be manual, right? But can you imagine if your network It's getting bigger, bigger, larger and larger, right? Make as many too many here. Maybe to have more thousand or more hundred here. If you have to have to research each router to configure the static IP, that is a wasting of time and also is very challenged, right? Agree? So that is mean now you have to learn we call dynamic routing. Okay, so what is the dynamic routing? That is mean if they have a pair between the router and router with the session, that's why they can change the configuration. Okay, so in here now, any question in here? Right, because the next hub, right? There's no way because in here you can see here is no more router, right? Have to be go to router three, right? And then router three because and from the router three because we already configured 10 network, so that's why router three know how to go to the 10 network, right? And then same thing with the router two know how to get back to the 10 network too. You see, right? And then the router one because he have a no because he have no direct connect to router one, right? We have this network, so router one no, and also router one, same thing again. We have to keep adding the static RFC in here. We will show IP route in here, right? On the see, same thing. We have the this is this direction in here. We have to router one keep adding which network the router one doesn't know. That's why and then just ask the router two for help. And if the router two know it, and then and if router two doesn't know it, and then router two have to ask for router three. It just so on like that. So got it? Okay. So this is a good example here. But do how far you understand about this static route? If not, I will create uh, one more interface in here, right? For example, the PC2 here. If the PC2 here, if I say using the loopback, it's a virtual interface, right? It's not physical interface, right? For example, in here, you see, if I go to config key here, right? This is the complexity. And then I would say interface. I'm going to say loopback one. I'm going to create a loopback one. Then I'm going to be address in here, IP address. So I'm going to say 222.222.222. Okay, so this is the loopback. Okay, so we have the loopback in here. Okay, so now we exit out again. Show IP interface brief. See, so now we have a loopback. Okay, inside this PC2. You see, this is the loopback. Okay, so now, for example, if can PC1 ping this loopback in here, right? Then you have the same thing. You have to go all the way, right? Same thing. Even even say if you know expert already in here because you don't want to go you just want to ask you see you just ask the router 3 right because we try to treat this 2 to 2 is behind this network right but we're just using the loopback interface so we just pretend this is the behind this network right so for example in the router 3 right same thing in here so router 3 so if I show the IP route in here, I don't have that 2222 network. That's definitely this router 3 not able to ping, you see, right? If you want to ping dot 22.22.22.22, it's going to be fail because it's not in my routing table. If you're not inside my routing table, that's why the router 3 doesn't know how to get that 222, right? So that is the same thing again. So you need to allocate this router 3, say IP route. I'm going to go 222 here, 222 dot here. See IP route 222.222 right in here, and then you got the 255 dot 255. All right, so I'm going to next hop is pointing to PC2, so 192.168.32.2. Okay, so now once I have the routing table on the router 3, you see the router 3, say, okay, so I have a static route. If I want to go to this network, it's going to point it via this interface, via PC2. So now, can I ping 222.222.222.222 from here? Beautiful. You see? Okay, so that is how it's a static route. But 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 you from this case, right? But from this case, you know already. Oh my God! So that is mean I have to configure the router one, router two also to to like adding this same thing, adding this route. Okay, but that is not good, right? It's very non inconvenient because it's like it's creating a lot of admin job, right? So how you want to be a less admin job? That's why we come with the dynamic routing, right? So you can see in here, see we have a read. Normally, RIP right now is because it's going to be retired right now in the production network. So we very few do we have a RIP anymore. Okay, so we have a OSPF, we have a ERGRP, and normally in the H routing right now, the big company, right? They love to use the BGP because the BGP is very good routing that we can like more inference in and out with the BGP attribute, right? So, well, I can demo quick in here. So we can now we can demo with the BGP first, right? And then later we can come back. We can like knock down like what is OSPS network, what is the EIGP network, and also even this is retired the RIP. I can introduce now how we configure the RIP routing on this routing protocol. Okay, so now you see router 3 here now. See if you go back to router 2 here, see the router 2, when you show IPBGP in here, you see when you show IPBGP, no, not IPBGP, not yet. So we should just say show IP route in here. You see, I don't same thing. I don't have a routing in here. If I want to ping here 222.222.222, right? You see, it should be timeout because I don't know. See, the router two say I don't have the network. I don't know how to get there, right? Uh, but the question is, I can inject the static route, but then the question is, I'm not allowed to use in static anymore now. I have to use in the dynamic. And same thing on the router one in here. See the router one in here. Okay, so the router one say, hey, I want to ping here. So I want to ping 22222222. That is the PC2 loopback. So when you ping, same thing, right? When you show IP route again in here, let me see here. Okay, when you show IP route, you see nothing. All right, hold on. Let me stop the let me stop the screenshot for the video so we make it 30 minute no, and then we can record again.